Hey everybody, it's JoPro. Hopefully you've already purchased Pikmin 4, but if you haven't, you better get on that, new blood. Shame on you. Shame.
Pikmin is such a wondrous series of charming games. In Pikmin 4, I never thought I'd see the day it actually would be reality, but here we are. It's gorgeous. Oh, it's so good. Somehow, with no names, dialogue, or distinguishing characteristics, I care so much about each and every one of these sweet, adorable little creatures. They're family in a way, and Pikmin 4 turned out to be a lovely experience. It's too bad that the controls and simplification of the gameplay present some new issues, but besides that, I'm quite content. Well, except for one thing. As a Pikmin 3 fanatic, I'm bummed over Alf, Brittany, and Charlie not making an appearance in some form, as they were seemingly replaced by these three Kopait posers, who are obviously a nod to the dynamic trio. I guess since this takes place prior to Pikmin 3, there's no way they could appear, but it's still a huge shame. Alf is the man, Brittany is lovely too, and Charlie, well, Charlie kinda sucks to be honest, but I need them! Give them to me, Nintendo, I'm begging you. If you haven't played Pikmin 3, you need to get on that, but in the meantime, I'll give you a quick rundown of the story.
Hi, Alf. Hello, Brittany. Alf. Brittany. Alf. 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 Brittany. Kopait. Brittany. Brittany. On a bullboard. I am fruit. Eat me, Brittany. The name's Louie. I'm gonna these people over. While the overworld exploration in Pikmin 4 is amazing, I'm really taken with the Dandori challenges. Not so much the Dandori battles, but more specifically the timed missions. Playing them on repeat to get the best platinum score I can has been a fun challenge, and easily the most difficult part of the game. But I'm happy to say that after a handful of attempts on each, I did manage to platinum every Dandori mission. So today, I'm going to rank the top 10 most difficult to platinum Dandori missions from the easiest to the hardest. Keep in mind, these are based on my personal interactions with the game, so your list may be a little bit different.
There will be spoilers for the post-game, so tread lightly. Also, the list is comprised specifically of the 10 Sage Leaf challenges and 2 other missions from the regular game that I found particularly tough.
If you're an EGAT at math, you'll know that's 12 total missions, so yes, there will be 2 honorable mentions. With all that said, let's get started.
Our first honorable mention is the only entry on this list I'd say is actually easy to platinum, and in fact it's probably easier than a few of the Dandori not on this list, but I really wanted to include all of the Sage Leaf levels, so Gimmick Gambit finds itself here. As level 6 of the Trial of the Sage Leaf, it's shockingly straightforward and linear in design. The goal here is to reach Mr. Leaf by unlocking 5 gates along the way. This is easily managed by tossing red Pikmin onto various gimmicks and contraptions such as fans and switches. One gate requires the collection of golf balls, while another involves the well-timed triggering of switches. Overall, it is incredibly linear and easy to finish with more than 2 minutes remaining. Immediately following level 6 is another simple challenge, level 7's One Fell Jump. This one gives you 1 minute to defeat 90 disgusting Bulborb larvas and 9 shear fleas. While Louie could gobble them all down in mere seconds, unfortunately he isn't playable. While it's not difficult to platinum, it is incredibly annoying due to the frustrating lock-on mechanic that should be optional. The trick is to utilize Ochi properly and ensure purple Pikmin are never dawdling too long on the surface, waiting to become a snack. If you manage these and space out your Pikmin throws inside the mob, then you should be able to beat it in just a few tries. My best time was with 21 seconds remaining, which I think is pretty dang good. Again, it's not difficult, but the lock-on causes a lot of wasteful and effective throws. Ironically, in 10th place is the 10th Sage Leaf Challenge. For the final level, the purple key really isn't that difficult. You have 5 minutes to retrieve the purple onion back to your base while avoiding the infamous water wraith. I was able to complete the task in just under 3.5 minutes on my 3rd try. There are a few ways of going about this. You can fight the Wraith or avoid it altogether. You can use candy pops to obtain enough purple Pikmin to access the onion, or you can have Ochi charge the wall to knock the onion down, saving even more time. After that, it becomes a straightforward escort mission. I did lose some time on the final stretch to an unfortunate enemy encounter, but overall, this one's a breeze. After completion, you not only keep the purple onion, but you also discover a few more details about the mysterious Daddy Leaf himself. It seems he's been stranded on PNF 404 for such a long time that he's forgotten his original identity.
He's my favorite new character in the game, and I long for his sexy eyebrows to make a comeback in Pikmin 5, if God be good.
Bowblax's is the first Sage Leaf mission, and it gives you 4 minutes to defeat 11 various types of Bulborbs, Bowblaxes, and Bulbears. Starting with 10 red Pikmin, you can accumulate up to 45 in total. For Platinum, you'll need to complete this with at least 1 minute 45 seconds remaining. On my initial playthrough, I was convinced this would be impossible, but by using the bomb rock on the right enemy and intelligently implementing a fully powered up Ochi, it's not too tough. Ochi can act as a tank to 1v1 the strongest enemies while you focus on more intermediate tasks. If you make good timing, you can easily finish with over 2 minutes remaining. Turf Turmoil is basically a boss rush that tasks you with defeating 6 enemies in under 5 minutes. The Mama Shear Grubs are easy, but some of the others consume a bit more time, especially the Porquillion and Fulix. However, with efficient use of the numerous provided items, Ochi tactics, and the purple candy pops, you can make pretty quick work of each encounter. The 7th most difficult stage is Crowded Kitchen, the 8th level in the Sage Leaf Trials. This one presents you with 4 minutes to collect 100 items of treasure. There really isn't too much going on here, and utilizing the purple candy pops from the start is an important tactic. Ochi should be able to carry most of the larger items back to the base, while the Pikmin manage some of the gold piles and smaller treasures. There are no enemies here, so it's all about optimal routing and preventing your team from sitting around without work. In general, this one's still on the easier side, and I finished with over a minute left, despite some waiting around at the end caused by ineffective planning.
What can I say? I'm an idiot.
The difficulty starts to ramp up with Dandori Seas. This one involves collecting 15 pieces of treasure to make the Sage Leaf a happy guy. Enemies are optional and you should mostly avoid them. The stage is quite large, but by recruiting a sizable fleet of Pikmin from the start and utilizing the Whistle Pluck, you can fly through it without too many issues. Efficient routing, turbo dash, and not wasting time with unnecessary tasks like destroying the sand wall are pretty important. Using the provided ultra spicy spray at the perfect time is crucial so that the Pikmin can carry the treasure past the boss without delay. Ultimately, I wrapped things up with over 3.5 minutes remaining. Oasis of Order isn't from the Trial of the Sage Leaf, but it's surprisingly challenging. The map is large and divided by areas of water that make it difficult to traverse. All enemies and treasures must be collected within the 6-minute time limit, and there are no ice Pikmin to freeze the water. Purple Pikmin can be obtained, but the largest treasures have to be carried around an area of water, rendering them less useful. Winged Pikmin are key here as they can fly over the waterways, but at the end of the day, this stage revolves around smart routing and putting your Dandori skills to good use. Level 2 of the Sage Leaf, Snow Problem, definitely isn't no problem. Upon my first few playthroughs, this one seemed like a nightmare, but with more attempts it wasn't too bad. The frigid conditions and distracting enemies certainly waste precious time, but the objective of collecting 45 raw materials to build a path to Poppy Leaf is clever and straightforward. Memorizing the layout to optimize your path is the big difference, and you'll likely need to take out a few of the enemies so they don't disturb your Pikmin from their task at hand. Once you complete the clay mound, you're finally reunited with Daddy Leaf and his dastardly grin. The White Key is the 5th level of the Sage Trials and the 3rd toughest Dandori in the game. Now I'll admit, with optimal routing this one shouldn't be too bad, but dealing with the Mammoth Snootwhacker was a bit of an issue at first. Once realizing I could simply stun it with Ochi, this level became a lot easier. The goal here is to carry 9 pool balls up a long path to the base in under 7 minutes, and even less for Platinum. Dispatching the enemies in the way and assigning the furthest balls to winged Pikmin seems to be the best strategy. The winged Pikmin are able to take a few necessary shortcuts by flying over gaps, and prioritizing which balls go to our flying pals is the name of the game. Upon retrieving all 9 balls, the white onion is yours for the taking. I made a few mistakes on my latest attempt and still wrapped things up with over 2 minutes remaining. The 3rd entry in the exciting legend of the Leaf Man is Dig Deep. This one just about gave me a headache. The map is repeated again from Oasis of Order, but at least this time ice Pikmin are at play and can freeze the waterway. The goal is to collect 15 treasures while mostly avoiding enemy encounters. While at first glance Dig Deep seems like it isn't too challenging, there are a few tasks that are particularly troublesome. One example is the iridescent glint beetle that holds 3 of our required treasures. Dispatching it quickly can be an inconsistent chore that you need to get right. You'll also need to use each Pikmin type to their advantage. Most of the treasures are buried, so yellow Pikmin and Ochi will need to work on those, while the ice Pikmin freeze the waterways. A giant melon requiring 50 Pikmin should be the final treasure you collect, but it's meticulously placed where Ochi cannot access it. You'll need nearly all present Pikmin to retrieve it for you, but you can always pass it off to Ochi once it's on the ground floor for faster transit to the base. All of these challenges aren't too bad once you practice them a few times to memorize the layout and optimize your routing. So this one seems pretty easy in hindsight, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a disaster my first few attempts.
Well, this is it, the hardest Dandori in Pikmin 4. You'll be surprised to hear it's not even from the Trials of Daddy Leaf. In fact, the old crone was one-upped by a standard Dandori. Coming from Primordial Thicket, may I present Cliffhanger's Hold. I hate that place. I hate it. It sucks. And I hate it.
This one tasks you to collect all treasure and enemy corpses in under 7 minutes. There are so many possible routing options, tons of tough enemies, and a difficult to traverse upper balcony area that divides your objectives. Several available items make the challenge easier, but the time it takes to access them pulls you away from your direct objective. Knowing whether or not to break a crystal or electric barrier is important because you definitely don't have time to destroy each of them. This stage already has so much to do, but then it also has the entire upper area that has to be accessed first by Ochi before your explorer can climb up the rope. The treasures and enemies in the balcony take forever to carry back and forth. While I did get platinum in one of my playthroughs, I messed up in my video recording by overlooking one treasure and it didn't quite get back to the base in time. So yeah, if this one still gives me trouble on platinum completion, then I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the toughest Dandori of the bunch.
But what do you think? Agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments which Dandori gave you the most trouble. Anyway, thanks for watching and taking this look at Pikmin 4 with me. It's one of my favorite game series of all time, and I would love to talk about it some more. So, let me know in the comments what Pikmin-related videos would you like to see from me? Have you not played Pikmin 4? If so, like I said, please buy it, because I really want Pikmin 5 as soon as possible, and not 10 years from now. Thanks. Also, while we're at it, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to hang out with you all a little bit more. So, with all that said, I think that is all I have for today. So see you guys next time.
Now repeat this video for good practice.